Good morning. Welcome to the Bearded Welshman's channel. Putting together this inaugural video this morning on this beautiful Sunday morning here in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Sun is shining. The weather is nice and cool. I'm sitting at my desk in my study, as you can see behind me. This is my study. I would show you more of the study. I guess I'll do that later in other episodes because right now it's just a little bit of a mess. Who is the Bearded Welshman, and how did I get to start this channel and do these videos? So first of all, let me tell you a little bit about me. My name is John, and I live here in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Beautiful area, not far from Philly, not far from Pittsburgh. We got DC, Baltimore, New York City. It's perfect. It's an hour or two from any of these places. So I'm a father. I'm a husband. I'm a brother. I'm an uncle. I'm an EMT. I'm a firefighter. I no longer do either one of those, but once it's in your blood, it's in your blood, and you are always a part of it. It's like the Marines. Once a Marine, you're always a Marine. There's no ex-Marines out there, just like there's no former EMTs and firefighters out there. I'm just too old for it anymore, and I'll explain that later. Currently, I'm a truck driver. I love driving truck. I am fortunate enough to be one of the few people to say that I've had two great careers. My first one was as an emergency medical technician. I did that for many years, and I loved it. I'm a man of faith. I love my country. I will not get political on this channel. I will not debate people who make comments, and I know those are going to come with time. There will be some critical comments. I will not be drawn into an argument. I don't like arguing. I like having good discussion. I like understanding where people are coming from. I don't want to argue with people. In order for me to understand someone, I need to know their views, and I want to hear their views. That's why I'm not going to get political on anything. I think it's caused a lot of relationships to go bad, and that's why I don't want to get into the political ring of things. There's many people that do it, and I don't need to be a part of that. I love to go fishing. I'm an outdoorsman, I'd like to say. I have 5 children, all who are pretty much grown up. My youngest daughter is 16. I have 2 girls, 3 boys, and the girls are the youngest. My 18-year-old daughter, we just took her to college yesterday, my youngest daughter and I. And that was a proud moment, but it was also a sad moment because my little girl is moving on to the next chapter of her life, and I'm excited for her. I wanted to find a new challenge in life. So here goes. I'm going to give credit where credit is due. I like to watch videos, and I get on YouTube a lot. And somehow I stumbled upon this unique, eccentric gentleman that goes by Gray Bailey on YouTube. So if you get a chance to check out his channel, it's Gray Bailey, Gray, Bailey, Bailey. I have to give credit to Mr. Bruno. George Bruno is the man that has the channel, a.k.a. Gray Bailey, a.k.a. the Sultan of Silver. He is a unique individual, as I said, and I want to give credit to him. Somehow I stumbled on his videos, and I started watching them. And for quite some time now, I've been talking to my wife about some things. I'm going to be 50 in January, and I've just been reminiscing, going through life, and I miss a lot of things. I miss my teenage years. I miss my father, who's since passed, 2005, I believe it was, and I miss him every day. And I'm a risk taker. That's another part of who I am. I like to take risks. For many years, I was an EMT, and then I decided to go into business for myself and did manual therapy work, and I loved it. I was very good at it, I thought. All my patients came from doctors in the beginning. I went from 0 patients or clients, whatever you want to call them, to 75 in less than a month. In less than 3 months, I had over 400 patients that were I was either seeing or waiting to see. Anyhow, then I got out of that due to circumstances, and then tried to find myself a little bit. My wife was very patient, but I'm a risk taker. And then I got into the trucking industry, and I love it. I like to take risks, much to the dismay of my wife, but it's a part of who I am. So here I am on this channel doing this. But I need to thank George Bruno, and I'm going to toast you, George, with a cup of coffee because it's too early to do a shot. That's a good cup of coffee. I love coffee. On this channel, we're going to discuss many things. Some of them, what Mr. Bruno has challenged his subscribers to do. And you'll hear me talk about Gray Bailey, a.k.a. Sultan of Silver, George Bruno, quite often here because I like to give credit where credit is due, and I want to pass forward to you his channel, and because I think he's very helpful to a lot of things. But on a show, it's not a show, channel, we'll talk about a lot of things. We'll talk about life. We'll talk about relationships with our children. We'll talk about faith. I'm a man of faith. There's some things that I will talk about on that. I want to be helpful. We'll talk about coffee. I love coffee. Now, this morning, I am drinking, just let me take another sip, excuse me. I am drinking, can't believe I'm saying this, it is Starbucks breakfast blend. I've always been against Starbucks. I just didn't see it was right to pay $5 or so for a cup of coffee. But I've gotten into their breakfast blend, and I'm into percolating my coffee now, thanks to my older brother, a unique and eccentric gentleman in himself. So I like to percolate my coffee now, and the Starbucks blend right now is just my favorite blend. I also do another blend called Lancaster County, which is really good. I like the milder coffees. So we'll talk about coffees. I'm a pipe smoker. I'm fairly new at it. And we'll talk about pipe smoking. As a matter of fact, excuse me. Got to adjust my earpiece here. This is my newest pipe. This is the Country Gentleman from Missouri Meerschaum. And George Bruno talked about this on his channel, and I thought I'd try it. And I'll tell you what, I have more expensive pipes than this, and this one is actually my favorite pipe to smoke right now. I'm sure I'll find another one sooner or later. But we'll talk about pipe smoking. We'll talk about the trucking industry, truckers. We'll talk about tips in trucking, things that would help truck drivers, especially fitness. A lot of what I did when I did manual therapy, I helped people who are post-injury, post-surgery, preventative, athletes. I worked with a lot of medical issues, chronic pain. I didn't do the frou-frou, fluffy spa type thing, although that's good and I love that. But that wasn't me. That wasn't who I was at the time. One of the most important character traits of me is I like to serve people. I'm a servant. I like to help people. I'm the guy that comes up and is the support for someone in leadership. That's what I do best. And George talks about this on his channel and in a number of his videos. And this is where I started getting the challenge and started thinking about stuff. George talked about a thing, and I don't know if he brought this up or if he made this up or what he did. He talks about getting unstuck. And as I was saying earlier, I'm going to be 50. And move back here a little bit so you can see all of my head, not just a portion of it. So I was kind of in a rut, and I've been struggling with some things and personal inside things of who I am, where I've been, what I'm doing, where I'm going. I was reminiscing a lot and living a lot in my past. The 80s. I grew up in the 80s, man. What a great time to grow up. And I was thinking that my best years were behind me. And I started watching George, a.k.a. Gray Bailey. Shameless plug there for him. And he talked about getting unstuck and how he was stuck at a point in his life, and he made some changes. And for some reason, it just clicked. It was like my aha moment. And I've been watching him for a few weeks now and studying as I watch him. And I watch other channels that are similar to that, or they're unique. Everyone's unique in their own way. So I've been watching and I've been learning a lot. And I've been really studying George and how he does things on his channel and what he does. And the man is he's got a brilliant mind. Not to toot his horn too much, but I owe a lot to him right now because he really helped me out with some things. So in one of his videos, he challenged his subscribers to take a new lease on life, do something new, do something different, do something that was going to, I guess, fulfill them. And he challenged, and I felt he was talking directly to me, and it was basically saying to me, start a video, get up, get a video made, get on the YouTube channel, and get moving and start doing this. And there's a lot. Everybody has a lot of things to say. And everybody has a story. And everybody has learned a lot of things in life. I'm 50. My kids would say I'm old. Others would say I'm young. But as we go through life, we age, we gain wisdom, experience, wisdom that comes with experience. There's different types of wisdom, and we can get in that later down the road. And so I want to share things and I want to help people. And that is my whole goal on this channel, is to be helpful to you. Truck drivers, pipe smokers, coffee drinkers. I got some great ideas for businesses. And my wife, I shared one of them with her, and I think her stomach sank because business is really, really, it's risky. You can lose a lot of money if you don't know what you're doing and you don't do it right. Women tend to like security. They like stability. And when you're a risk taker, it kind of drives them a little nuts. And we'll talk about life. We'll talk about relationships. My kids are all growing up. They're pretty much growing out of the mom and dad stage. And we'll talk about building relationships beyond. When your kids are growing up, you have a different kind of relationship with them when they're little. You're pretty much the leader. You say what's going to happen. You set the agenda. They follow you and what your likes and dislikes are. And as they get older, you have to learn, or you will drive them away and you won't have a good relationship. You have to let them go. You have to let them fly a little bit. So that's later. That's a video that I plan on making later about relationships with my children and how I'm learning to move our relationship and make it different and blossom it and just enjoy my time with my children as they get older. But one of the other things that Mr. Bruno challenged was he's a big beard guy. He's the top beard groomer, I think, in the world at this point. He does a lot of talks about beards and grooming and how to maintain them, how to take care of them, how to grow them. And he challenged to do the year of the beard. I guess it's an older video. I don't know how old that video is. And as you can see, the bearded Welshman. This is trimmed down, and it's been trimmed down for quite some time. Back in, I believe it was May, I cut it down to this length. I've always had a beard. I'm Welsh, hence the bearded Welshman. I've always had a beard ever since I was a young man and could grow one. I might not have been able to grow a very good beard back then, but maybe someday I'll share some pictures of some of the beards I tried to grow when I was a young man in my early 20s, late teens, early 20s. But I've always had a beard. I've always had whiskers. I've only ever shaved my face once, and that's when I got married years ago. And that marriage didn't work out, so it was a waste, waste of a good beard. And I miss my long beard. Now, if I could show you, I would show you a picture with me with a longer beard. It was about 6 months growth, but I kept trimming it. And Mr. Bruno talks about letting your beard grow for a year. So my goal is, and I've always wanted a long beard, so my goal is to grow a long beard, and I'm going to see how far, if I can get down to here, and see how much I like it, and I'm going to be documenting that journey. We'll call it one man's journey to the perfect beard. Although there is no perfect beard, we're going to work hard to get to that point. A perfect beard for me, the look for me. So stay tuned for that. I look forward to growing the beard, and fortunately for me, my wife likes the beard. Does not want me to ever shave my beard and mustache off. So I'm very blessed in that area, and she's very supportive. So that's who I am in a nutshell. I hope to see you soon on here. In this channel, I will be encouraging you. I will be sharing with you. I will be telling you life stories. Some stories from my days on the ambulance to stories on the road as a truck driver. I drive locally now. I used to drive over the road. But that's basically what I'm going to do, is just share life with you, thoughts, things that I've learned, and hopefully pass them along in the hopes that you would pass them along to somebody else. I believe that with knowledge, we have an obligation, a duty to educate others. I'm currently enrolled in seminary to get my degree in theology. I love all things theology. So I'm currently enrolled in that. My goal is to get my master's and maybe move on to my doctorate. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I'm going to sit back. I'm going to enjoy the rest of this Sunday morning in front of my window at my desk here. Drink my coffee, excuse me. And then I'm going to go upstairs and make some breakfast and enjoy my day. Relaxing. But again, I want to wish you all the best. I think we need to seize the day. We're not guaranteed another day from the good Lord above. And when He calls us, and we're done. So we need to make the most of it. Again, I'd like to thank Mr. George Bruno. Another toast to you, sir, for helping me, and he didn't even know it, get unstuck. And I'm on this getting unstuck journey. And I hope you have a blessed day. Build new relationships is my encouragement to you, and forge ahead. Never give up. Thanks for joining me this morning and listening to my long story of who I am, brief story of who I am. There's more to come, and I look forward to it. Have a great day, everybody.